Hello, friend of fateful connection. Let your mind settle in the stillness of the night. Have you ever lain down with an invisible list in your mind? You lie there and silently list what you want to be fixed tonight. You worry about the aching back. You wonder about the lingering fatigue, and you stay awake over unresolved anxieties. You bring the mindset of a mechanic to bed and hope that you can control the recovery process to happen in the right place. But dear friend, there is a sacred wisdom that the body always wants to tell you, which is that your body already knows exactly what it needs to fix first. The intelligence of each cell has been operating perfectly long before you learned how to think and worry. The only thing the body truly needs from you right now is for you to stop interrupting that process. The dark night is not the time for you to continue playing the role of commander or manager. The dark night is when you are allowed to withdraw completely. What if healing always has its own perfect order of priority, and it is the intervention of your mind that is disturbing that sacred order? Hello, friend of fateful connection. Understand the truth that our minds often tend to want to control everything according to what they fear most. The mind likes to prioritize based on what it considers a problem. It wants to monitor results every minute and wants to measure progress immediately. But your great body operates according to a completely different priority system. It prioritizes the sense of safety. It preserves energy and follows ancient biological cycles. When you constantly intervene with thoughts that I must be healthy in this spot, or I must stop hurting in that spot, you are unintentionally stripping away the peaceful atmosphere the body needs to work most effectively. Your attempt to over-control the healing process is actually just creating a new layer of stress for your nervous system. Please do not blame yourself if you have often thought too much like that for a long time. We are here simply to identify this habit together and gently invite the inner manager to officially end the shift. The wisdom of nighttime healing does not lie at all in complex techniques or extraordinary efforts. That wisdom is an absolute trust in one's own sacred survival instinct. Your body has known how to mend wounds and balance chaos since you were a child who did not yet know anxiety. Buddhism, in this moment, does not teach you to do anything more, but only gently reminds you to let go of intervention and let go of the need for control. When you courageously return to your natural state, when there is no longer a doer and no longer work to do, that is when the miracle truly begins to exist. Threshold before sleep. Hello, friend of fateful connection. I invite you to identify a sacred threshold right at this moment, which is the moment you decide to pull your hand off the control panel of your life. Understand that tonight you do not need to be a doctor, self-diagnosing for yourself. You do not need to be a repairman fixing breakdowns, and you do not need to be an analyst finding causes for all fatigue. Right now, simply realize how tiredly you have tried to arrange the order for the body, and now allow yourself to choose a different path. The path of complete trust. Silently tell yourself that tonight I will not rearrange anything at all. I let today end in its own way, and let the body be free to act in its own way. When you stop demanding everything go your way, you will see a 1,000-pound burden suddenly vanish from the soul. Identifying intervention. Now I invite you to direct your full awareness back to the body lying still on the mattress, to see that intervention is not just thoughts, but is actually manifesting clearly through each state of the body. Notice if your breath is being silently controlled by you, to become slower or deeper in a forced way. Feel If the muscle blocks are silently holding some alertness, as if ready to act, although your eyes are closed, the mind seems to still be working diligently in the dark. Try to realize which part of the body you intervene in most. Are you trying to sleep very fast, or efforting to force yourself to relax, or focusing all will to hope for healing a certain pain? In this moment, I absolutely do not ask you to fix or change anything. You only need to perform an act of compassion, which is to acknowledge the presence of those efforts. Silently tell your heart gently that, turns out, I am still silently trying to manage my body. This very mindful and tolerant looking will begin to open up space for true letting go to take place. Hello, friend of fateful connection. Now we touch the heart of tonight's journey with an extremely powerful, but also extremely soft inner gesture. I invite you to perform a complete empowerment back to the intelligence of your body. No need to speak out loud. You just need to silently tell each of your cells and blood vessels a trusting confirmation that tonight, my body has the right to choose its first priority task. You do not need to know which area the body will choose to heal. First, you also do not need to witness how that process is taking place. The only thing you need to do is truly not interfere in that sacred work anymore. You need to understand deeply a truth that your task is not to be the coordinator or commander of healing, but your highest task is to stop obstructing its natural flow. When you courageously let go of the manager role, you are sending an absolute safety signal to your nervous system, helping the body understand that it has been given full authority to perform the cell regeneration function in the most perfect way. Just let yourself be an empty entity, melting into the tolerance of the night, where there is no more control and no more pressure. Only trust and gratitude are silently nourishing the life inside you, leaving it be. Now I invite you to truly be in your own complete stillness. In the next few minutes, I will stop giving all instructions, and you also completely do not need to perform any further actions. This is not a meditation practice or a mind training technique. This is simply a sacred void for you to exist without a purpose. Just lie very still and let your body find its own primitive rhythm. If some stream of thought suddenly appears, just let it pass, like distant traffic noise outside the city, without needing to bother or answer. You do not need to keep attention on the breath, and do not need to try to become still. Just let everything happen in the most natural way as it is. Engrave a gentle wisdom deep in your heart that you inherently do not need to help the night. Sleep and healing will automatically find you at the exact moment when all effort and help from the rational head have completely stopped. Subtle mistake. In this quiet space, I want to point out to you an extremely subtle psychological trap that we often unintentionally fall into, which is the need to want to know what the body is fixing. Your mind might silently set questions, such as why this spot still hurts, or why I do not yet feel lighter. But dear friend, look closely. That very need to want to understand and want to evaluate the healing process is the time you are trying to grab the steering wheel once again. Your body absolutely cannot perform cell repair work when it is constantly questioned and monitored by tired consciousness. Healing is the most humble and quiet process in the world. It works most effectively in the absolute privacy of the unconscious, where there is no presence of an observer. You need to understand deeply a truth that true healing never needs your understanding or recognition to take place. Just allow yourself to fall into the unknown zone and give full trust to the ancient intelligence of the body. When you stop lurking for results, when you stop playing the role of a harsh judge for yourself, that is also when the door of true recovery is fully opened. Sleep without management. Hello, friend of fateful connection. Let us redefine the nature of a deep sleep in our own consciousness. Deep sleep is actually not a state that you can feel or witness with your consciousness. The moment you truly sleep is the moment the inner manager has completely left their duty post. If you are still lying there to monitor whether you are drowsy yet or the body is numb yet, then that very persistent observing self is the barrier preventing you from touching the absolute stillness of the night. Tonight, I invite you to courageously allow your ego to be completely absent. You can sink into sleep immediately, or you can still lie here in stillness a bit more. And please understand that it really does not matter for your healing process. The value of tonight does not lie in how many hours you sleep, but lies in whether you have enough courage to give full priority to the body's intelligence. In the wisdom of non-action, sleep comes when no one stands out to wait for or coordinate it anymore. Let your breath flow by itself, and let your heart beat by itself without the supervision of the will. When the manager has truly rested, then, that is when pure life begins to perform its most miraculous regeneration work in this gentle darkness. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes to welcome the dawn, I invite you to perform a final gesture of compassion for yourself, which is to absolutely not hurry to grade or evaluate the quality of the sleep just past. Our inherent habit is often to immediately analyze whether we slept well, but you need to understand that true healing is a silent process taking place in the background, and it follows separate cycles that narrow consciousness cannot fully identify. Maybe tonight, your body has silently focused on fixing the nervous system, or strengthening the immune system, or soothing the digestive system, instead of making your back stop hurting immediately. And all those arrangements are the most wisdom for you right now. Do not measure tonight's success by the crude sensations of the morning, but start to recognize healing through the most subtle changes in your long day. It is when you see your breath become broader and freer. It is when your emotional reaction to fluctuations becomes softer and more tolerant. And it is when you see your body less attached to old fatigue. Remember a truth that true healing is always what continues persistently, even without your constant attention. Start the new day with an empty soul, and cherish your own presence instead of being busy looking for obvious results. When you stop playing the role of a harsh judge for yourself, then you will see wholeness begin to bloom in your own every breath. We look back at one final wisdom of tonight's silent journey, which is that your great body is always much smarter than all control or calculation of the rational head. Your body has known how to heal itself and how to find the balance point since you were a child lying in a cradle. And the things that truly ruin that miraculous process are strict anxiety, brutal intervention, and the non-stop evaluation of the ego. The night is not the place for you to continue performing arrangements or changing the inherent order of nature. The true wisdom of the darkness is knowing how to stop rearranging the order for your body. Engrave in your heart a gentle truth that your body always heals best at the exact moment it feels itself trusted completely. The trust is the most precious medicine you can give yourself right now. Tonight, let yourself melt into the infinite tolerance of the universe where no one else needs to be healed, and no more supervision exists. because true wholeness is already present in the very moment you courageously let go of all your control to return authority to the wisdom of life. Hello, friend of fateful connection. We are gone together to the final moments of tonight's stillness, before you truly vanish into the soft darkness of deep sleep. I only hope you carry a single awareness in your heart that your body already knows exactly what it needs to fix first. If these shared words bring you a sense of being allowed to rest and help your mind reduce stressful control, I invite you to join me in a final confirmation gesture to completely close the door of the daytime. Leave a comment as a sacred commitment to your own consciousness that tonight I trust in the healing order of my body. This confirmation will be the steady anchor, helping you truly shed every final burden to enter the most complete rest in the arms of the night. If the silent space of Daily Dharma Light brings you peace, I am very honored to welcome you to stay with the channel so we can accompany each other on the path of awakening. Now you have nothing more to hear and nothing more to do. Just let stillness cover the entire body and mind, wishing you a very peaceful night in the absolute freedom of the soul, peace in mind and body. Hello, and see you again.